Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Undiscovered podcast. I guess I gotta introduce everyone first. I'm Drew, joined today by Nick,
Hello.
Tristan,
I love Minecraft.
Harrison,
Hey.
and newbie to the show today is Travis.
Oh my gosh, I'm with all the cool kids.
Yeah. So today, 3 out of the 5 of us are pretty sick. So me, Nick, and Tristan are
Thank you.
sick. Yeah.
I claim it is my fault.
It is your fault.
It is your fault.
You looked at me.
I claim you're all wrong. And
Okay.
Jesus has, I don't know where I'm going with that. Never mind.
I don't know. Let's talk about sickness, because I think it's just,
The Black Plague.
it's weird because the other day I thought about this and I was like, I feel like your body should be strong enough to get rid of like small sicknesses. Like, I feel like we've
What
almost.
still blows my mind is how, like, no matter what you do, you'll always get sick. No matter how good you take care of your body, you'll still get sick.
Yeah. And it's like, it's almost to a
remember-
point where we've devolved to where like our immune system, like, I don't know. I feel like in the old days, like, if you got a cold, that was nothing. Your immune system would like just like destroy it. But I feel like it's almost gotten weakened because of medicine.
People used to die from colds all of the time.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Like everything, dude.
Like, oh, you got a stuffy nose? Well, you're dead.
Bring out your dead.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's honestly amazing that we, like, are
What
able
med-
to even exist.
What medicine has
'Cause it's
done
so
nowadays,
complex and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
it is absolutely astonishing.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking today because I want to get myself a new phone. And how I look at it is when I buy a phone, I want my phone, every $100 should last a year. So if I buy a $1,000 phone, it should last 5 years.
I think your
Wait,
math
no.
is a little off there, pal.
Hang on. Anywho, you guys know what I mean.
10.
So $100 lasts you a year, right? So, like if I get a $600 phone that lasts me 6 years, 6 years ago,
Whoa.
people didn't even have
600 years
good
ago?
smartphones. No, 6 years, Harrison. Stop making fun of my voice, guys. It's not funny anymore. My mom says it's
It-
not
Making
funny.
fun of me in the group chat.
The thing is, like, with that $100 thing that you've been doing, like, companies will, like, Apple especially, will, like, put out software updates that slow your phone down to a point where you have to get a new one.
Well, it's because they're trying to like update iOS for like the new phone, and they're trying to have everyone updated for it. So then like the new
They
software
slow
will
down.
eventually not.
That's what they claim, but
The new
they're
software will eventually not like.
that's not true, Harrison. They claim that, but
They slow it
the
down.
older phone you have, they'll slow it down more to make you buy the new phone, so they
Mhm.
get your $1,000.
Well, I know it's a money grab, but like if you think about it, like they're actually like new software for a new phone on an older phone. It's
I
Yeah.
feel like you're really
It makes
fishing
sense.
for something
No,
here.
I mean, it kind of makes
No,
sense,
it-
but
it is-
also,
I'm not saying that's the main part of it. Of course, they're trying to grab money from you, but like that's still a main thing. They're not like it's not like oh you're able to hold this new entire phone like this whole entire system. You're able to like your old phone is able to like still run it. It doesn't make sense. Like if I was
Alright,
trying to
well-
run if I was trying to run like
Mm.
Destiny 2 on my Xbox 360, it wouldn't do that because it needs more RAM and more
Mhm.
data and all that.
I mean, you could just be super stubborn. My computer is from like 2008. It literally takes like 6 minutes just for it to turn on. Whenever I downloaded Discord today for this, it took me about 5 minutes, like, of just staring at it just booting up. It was bad.
You know what's weird? You said 2008, and this is like, I can go on a rant about this. It is so weird to think we're almost in 2020. Like, it feels like
Yeah.
literally yesterday it was 2010, and I was like in elementary school. Like 2010, like doesn't feel far away to me, but it's 9 years ago. That's just so bizarre to me.
Well, you also want to do something else. Like, I can remember all the times back in middle school when there was probably girls that liked me, and I was just so oblivious that I didn't notice it. And now I regret every single moment of it.
Or maybe no one liked you. I don't know.
Dude, you are really negative today. Sorry, Harris. I talked over you.
Just
I
joking.
hate to like break the topic of it, but like I'm just sitting here and some random person named XXXX Sloth like 1892 XXXX added me as a friend. I don't like it.
Why are you gaming?
We gonna dox him? Dox
All right,
question
thanks
mark?
for sharing.
Thanks for
I don't
sharing
know,
about your.
I just
Yeah, we're gonna
I
have to
just feel
bleep
like
that out.
people like
Did you
what?
say that like I can edit?
What mine
Well, we
is
can't
interesting.
upload it.
Oh no, I one take this. It's so much easier.
Well, was that just like not interesting to you guys? Is that why you're just gonna edit it out?
No, it's
Well,
fine.
no, because
No.
if we get big, then they're just gonna harass this poor kid.
Well, I don't know.
XXX sloth is gonna get murdered.
It's a slaw.
I don't know if I don't think that's the exact numbers. I was just going off the top of my
Oh,
head.
okay.
It just was
All right, cool.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
do you want me to pull that topic that I have, or unless?
Oh
or,
no, not really.
Okay,
So
not yet.
lately, like my PS4, I didn't have Plus for a while, so I didn't play it for like a solid 3 months. I come back, the amount of fake gamer girl messages I had. Hey, I just got out of the bath. Do you want to chat? Hey, I just got out of the shower.
It's so
Hey,
weird.
I've been searching through their friends list. Do you want to play a game sometime together? Do you want to chat?
They
I
just
literally
mess with
get
them.
those,
It's
like,
so
all the
funny what
time.
they say.
It's just like
At the
why.
end of their messaging, an actual person will start messaging you because it's automated at first, and then after that, it's not. And it's so funny just to see what they start saying.
It's just weird to think like why they're doing that. Like
What does
no,
that actually
like
achieve?
what's the success rate of those? Like does
The
anyone
neckbeards
actually
that
click?
want to see the nudes of whatever chick just got out of the shower that
That's
just
fair.
gave them $50 through their PayPal.
Yeah, like what 12-year-old is gonna be like? Yeah, I want to see you stream instead of play Fortnite. Like,
You got to get that
no
Snapchat
12-year-old.
Premium.
I want to see naked ladies instead of playing Fortnite Battle Royale on my PS4. Oh boy. I love Fortnite. You know how much I love Fortnite. I suck 20 cocks a day.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's what you sounded like. That,
Hi there. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
or even just like on the phone too. Like what do
Dude,
they
on
achieve?
Instagram, there's so many of those links, and everyone's just like, okay.
And they've recently switched to group chats. Like they don't just individually
Yeah.
message you. It's just like
I
a
just see
thousand
memes, and I
people.
sit there, and then other people start sending memes, and it's so funny.
Oh, I haven't had any like
I should
that.
start.
I try to.
There's one guy sent a picture of Tupac and Hitler just sitting, just chilling. It was so funny.
Oh,
Too grace of a
Tupac
generation.
and Hitler are both
We're
dead.
best friends.
Fun fact.
No, guys, they're just in
Fun
Cuba.
fact.
They're in Argentina. Nick,
Yeah.
you went camping this weekend, and you were sick. But other than being sick and laying in your hammock, did you do anything crazy?
Not really. I did a lot of mountain biking, fishing. I was sick. I slept in my hammock, which is pretty sick. I'd recommend sleeping in a hammock if you get the chance. But yeah, I was just like, that was the peak of my sickness. I was feeling pretty good before the camping trip. So I was like, yeah, whatever. When I got there, then my sickness just peaked and I felt awful. So I just sat in my hammock watching many, many episodes of Parks and Rec for a while.
Have you finished it yet?
No, I'm on season 6. I just
Don't-
finished season 6.
Don't watch season 7. It's not worth it.
Dude, when I was like 12, or even like younger than that, I decided to go to. Well, my family was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Lake Powell for a week and
Ooh.
camp."
Mm.
And so I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's like 100 degrees, and
That
the
one's
day-
rough because
the-
it's so hot.
Yeah, like I would have really enjoyed it, except for I got down there, I slept like I spent one night. I wake up the next morning, just so much flu, like the worst flu I've ever had in
Oh.
my whole life. I threw up
Hmm.
all over that lake. It was
Oh.
bad. And like
In the lake.
flu and
Uh,
heat do not mix.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Dead.
oh, it was bad. I had a fever, and then at night it would get super cold because it's like the desert. It
You're
was
on
the
the
worst.
lake too.
I
Yeah.
We ended up having to leave like after 2 days, and it's like a 10-hour drive from. It was bad.
That
It was not
sucks.
great.
I was also at Lake Powell one time when I was a kid.
Really?
And I was holding my little sister, and I kid you not, this was the biggest bug to ever roam the earth. It took up, you think I am kidding, it took up half of my leg. I don't know how it crawled up there, but it was inside my jeans. And I went to scratch it, and there was something, so I lifted up my pants. There was this prehistoric creature on me. It is probably extinct, but then I like screamed and I kicked. did at my dad times to beat it as hard as he could with a shovel, and it was still moving.
Ooh.
It had to be some
Yeah,
ancestor of a cockroach or
Yeah,
something.
can we just give a pog champ to like ancient insects and how there used to be like a centipede or millipede that was like literally like the size of a truck.
That sounds like
Mm-mm.
something in a Japanese
Or
I
film.
have a
Yeah, some kaiju battle type stuff.
Or like Meganura, which was like a dragonfly that was like the size of your cat.
Jeez.
I have a similar story to Nick's. Last summer, not this past summer, but last summer, I think 2018. I was sitting. I think we had like opening Bible study at Eagle Lake, and I felt something weird in my leg. So I was like started scratching, and I was like, "This is super weird." I felt like crawling. I'm like, "Okay, there's literally a bug in my leg," and I kind of like punched my leg, and it stopped moving, but I didn't like feel any like, you know, guts or whatever that whatever bugs have in them. And so I just kind of rolled up my knee pant, and there was the huge like beetle type thing
Ugh.
up my
Ooh.
leg, and it was a squish, and it was like, ew, stinky, and
Disgusting.
it was awful.
I'm not a bug person. Like I just don't like bugs. It's kind of
I
like
could deal with most bugs, but like moths, I can't deal with moths because
ugh.
my mom gave me like PTSD of moths as a kid.
Please
So,
do.
like,
Please explain.
okay, so when I was a kid, basically whenever there was a moth, she would like start screaming. So that gave me like,
Oh,
Mm.
and so and then them just flying into my face, it just gives me, oh,
I can
so
handle
now I have
most.
like an incessant fear of moths.
I can handle most anything except for mosquitoes and flies
ugh. I'm not
because
like
they don't die and they're everywhere.
yeah.
And mosquitoes, like when there's drinks in your blood, you don't notice, and all of a sudden you start itching everywhere.
Yeah.
And they always seem to like get me real bad. And flies, they're like you can't kill them, and they're everywhere.
Like
I
they
usually
don't.
have no
Yeah.
problem with bugs, but if they're within like a 200-foot radius of where I sleep, then I
Yeah.
kill them just indiscriminately. If I see one, it's just dead. It's
It's
gone.
gonna die.
Like whenever I went to Honduras for my mission trip,
Ooh, yeah, there are probably a ton of
um,
bugs down there.
I'm chilling and like we were about to like literally have like a big like team meeting, and everybody's like, and I see a spider out on the wall outside. So so in the middle of our team meeting, I run outside. All the leaders are like yelling at me. I run outside, take off my shoe, and just end this spider
Annihilate
that's
the
like
spider.
the size of my hand. I just absolutely obliterated it. And walked back inside. It was so like everybody was
Was
so
it
mad at me.
was it like a pretty decently sized one too?
Yeah, dude, it was like the size of my hand. They had some crazy
Ugh.
bugs down there.
That's one thing about like living in Australia, dude. They got some crazy spiders down there.
Yeah,
Like
that
ones that are the size of your
Ugh.
head.
uh,
Not for me.
Ooh.
they just bugs don't like I'm not scared of them. They're gross and they just kind of are not gross. They're just like they annoy me. That's what it is. Like I don't like them crawling on me. I don't know why. It's just ugh. I don't like
You
having
enjoy
sticky
that, don't you,
hands.
Squidward?
I just want to.
Do you want? I have a
I hate
question.
to break the.
I have a question
I
I
just
can
want to
whip
say
up.
something really quickly. Have you guys seen Adam's? Here's an Instagram post.
Yeah, yeah.
He's zooming on the bike.
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
What?
Okay, continue.
Okay, I can. Do you want me to pull out my
Hang on, I
question?
got some.
Oh, okay.
Going back to being like sicknesses, this is recent. So last week, I was driving my sister to school, and all I
Oh,
hear from the back is, I think I'm going to throw up. But instead of throwing up on the floor like a normal person, she decides
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to cover my mouth, which
Oh,
then
Ugh.
entailed exiting the sides all over me, my car. But I spent a 5 to 6 hour process trying to clean it. Because it
that
like the smell and like
yeah.
the stains, it's nasty.
Throwing up is honestly probably one of the worst things someone can experience. I don't know
I don't mind the
why.
smell or looking at it, but watching someone doing the action of throwing up makes me like a gag so hard.
See, that doesn't make me gag. It's just when I'm doing it because it like I'm not trying to get like super graphic or anything, but it comes out with such force that it's just ugh, it's nasty.
The worst thing is that I can recommend is never try to hold your mouth. I did that several.
Ooh.
times when it comes out your nose. And
Yeah.
stomach acid and nose don't go together.
Ooh.
Why on earth would you try to hold it in your mouth?
I don't know. Have you never tried to hold it in? Like, oh, maybe I'll just hold it in. Maybe I'll like chipmunk it or something.
With like a
Shit.
sneeze, not
Just,
with
just swallow it
trauma.
down.
Oh wait, speaking of, have you guys ever sneezed while throwing up? Because it is the absolute
No. Have
worst
you?
thing
No?
that can happen to you.
I feel like that's like the
you're
rarest thing
throwing up,
ever.
and you're like gagging, and then you go shoot, and it gets your nose, and you're like,
Ah! My nose. Yeah, throwing up. I wouldn't wish throwing up on my worst enemy.
I would
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
hate
Are
I
you
hate it,
kidding me?
dude. You get that like really hurt feeling in your like
In your
tummy.
stomach, and then
Oh my
you
God.
know, then it clicks in your brain. You're like, I'm about to puke, and you're sprinting for your toilet.
Especially
Whew.
if you're super sick and it's
Yeah.
just like constant, and it just feels like someone just like
Yeah.
tugging on your stomach.
It like
and it's
sits
just,
there for so
painful.
long.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It like I think it was seventh grade. Yeah, I got a super no, it was definitely 8th grade. I got a super bad stomach virus, and like I don't remember if you guys remember it. I was gone for like a week out of school because I was just like throwing up multiple times a day. It was awful. It was so awful. That I thought was okay. I was like, oh, I think I'm finally okay. I guess I'll go to school now. So I go downstairs, eat some Rice Krispies. I go back upstairs and I just vomit for like 10 minutes. I'm like,
Oh.
okay.
That is where you messed up.
It's just like it, and then like all the food, like what you were saying, and like all the food that you've had in the like the most recent time area, my brain is fried. Is like it comes back up. Ugh, throwing up is not fun.
It's very not good process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to whip out my my question?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Unless anyone's got anything else, I'm gonna whip it up.
Go for it.
I don't think so.
Whip out this
All right.
incredible
All right.
question that has got to be stellar since you have brought it up many times.
This has to be like the most detailed answer. I want detailed answers from everyone. Okay.
What's everyone's fetish?
If
I'm like just fucking
Deep question. Well, we can see what Nick's is in chat.
if you could be an
Bad
animal,
timing.
if you could be an animal, what would you be, and why? Like I need
Okay.
a detailed response to this.
Okay, does it have to be a real animal that is alive today?
No, you can be a dinosaur.
You start because this is a very complicated answer that's going to take me a while.
Okay.
I want to be a jawcoon.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Funny
Hey, Harrison, explain why you want to be a jockoon.
In depth.
jaw.
Okay, cool.
Sick.
That's not actually my animal.
Okay.
Really?
It was just a
I
joke.
wondered. I was
Just a
like,
funny prank.
It was you got everyone. Good one.
All right, I got this. I
All
got
right,
this.
Travis.
Shut up.
Let's hear it.
I got this, boys.
Let's hear it.
So listen, I can't. As a house cat, okay.
Okay.
Now listen.
Huh.
Everybody hates cats,
Yeah.
but like
So you're saying
the
everyone
life
hates
of
you?
a cat. No, the life of a cat is super chill though. You
That's
literally
true.
they sleep like 14 hours a day, and the rest of the time they just kind of eat, and they're just born with innate ninja powers. Like
That's
can.
that's a good point.
It's kind of whack.
Yeah, that's
So
actually.
like you literally are lazy. All you do is sleep and eat. But if you want to,
You can go
you
ham.
can just like climb a tree
Yeah.
or run super fast or something. Go like literally eat an animal.
Okay, that was good. That was good. Yeah, I would not inherently think to go house cat.
I do not see you as a house cat. If you do not know Travis, he's a pretty strong, tall man that plays football. He does not resemble the personality of a house cat. But I can understand your answer.
Yeah, that was a good answer. All right, I'm gonna go.
Very detailed.
All right, everyone probably is already expecting this, but I would want to be a chimp. Either a chimp. because like you still have like really you're still pretty high intelligence level. Like you'd like have good comprehension and stuff. And like they go in these like pods and stuff. And like I don't know, chimps are like I have a belief that if like apes were just a tiny bit like smarter, like to the level that humans are smart, like they would be top of the food chain, 100%.
Well, did you see the other day that chimp used a sharpened rock to break out of this enclosure?
Dude, I'm low key scared of apes. Like low key, very low key. But like you get to hang out with all your chimp bros. You get to make tools and stuff, but also like you're strong and like you can swing around in trees and like sprint really
Okay, so
fast.
Drew, by the way, a group of chimpanzees is called a community.
A community. Yeah, exactly. Like it'd be I don't know. Either like a chimp or like a little monkey. Because a little monkey would be fun too. Just hang out. Like most little monkeys, like don't even touch the ground their entire life. They just hang up there and swing, and like not a care in the world. They just eat fruit and swing around. And
I
occasionally
just
they'll
had a
get
thought.
get eaten alive by an eagle, but that's occasional.
Alright, so I just had a thought, right?
Yeah.
What if Community, like the show
Okay.
about like the people in community college, was just
Just apes.
chimps? Like instead of people, it was just chimpanzees in a community college.
It's like
Community.
It'd be like
That
that.
would be a way more interesting show.
It'd be like that Meerkat Manor show, except with chimps. I would watch that.
Yeah, I would watch that too.
Who's up next for
All right,
animal?
I will go next.
All right.
Hear me out on this one.
Okay.
I would pick a dog. Here's
Wow.
why. First off, you're pampered. Second off, you get
Okay.
all the women and everyone loves you and touches you. Third off, like you either sleep, you run around, you're happy all the time, you know. Dogs live a pretty happy life.
That's
Unless
true.
you like end up in like a
The
barn
pound.
and some dude beats you every day to make you attack people. And you just want to be a happy dog that gets pet, but instead you get beaten to attack people.
Jesus, that was so sad.
Okay.
Yeah, that took a dark turn.
I'm now sad.
Dang.
All right, Harrison, do you have one, or should I say mine?
I kind of want to be a bird.
Burb.
Explain.
Burba.
What kind of bird?
Basically, I don't know. I feel like I don't know, man.
And,
I don't know exactly what type of bird I would be, but I know for a fact that I would just want to be a bird, just because I get to fly around. You literally just like get to be so free and glide in the wind, and then you get to poop
Mhm.
on people.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone's like get off my car being all mean, you can just poop on them,
poop.
and like you just feel so free. You can just like fly by somewhere and just like do like a flyby dropping, you know?
As long as
Drop
you're
a few
like,
dukes.
I'm all for you being a bird as long as you're one of like a good bird, not like a crow or a magpie. Those
Oh, no,
birds,
I don't
I
wanna be
hate
that. I want to be
those.
like a blue jay or like something like really
Ooh,
cool
yeah.
looking, like a robin. Or we haven't seen a
Yeah.
robin in Colorado in a while. I'm just
I've
pointing
seen
that
a
out. But
couple.
like,
I gotta
like
go
a
blow my
robin, like,
nose
I
because I'm
wouldn't say a
sick.
bald eagle, even though they're majestic as heck. I just wouldn't want to be one just because I don't know. They hold high expectations, not pooping on people's cars. And I want to poop on someone's car as a bird, not. Okay, next up.
All right. Mine. Shoot. I probably a tortoise.
Can you explain why you would like to be a tortoise?
Dude, because I lived for a super long time. They can live up to
Oh.
150 years.
17 is good enough for me.
That'd be on this planet for this way.
Hey, if I only live for 10, but I get all the women and live the perfect life, I mean, hard to argue with that.
Monkeys live the same as humans, and I
You
can
know, honestly,
swing.
guys, live your life. If you live your life and die young, rather than don't live your life and die old. That sounds like
Yeah,
a
but
fun
dude,
life.
tortoises
What?
get mad puss.
Ooh, story time. Thanks for bringing that up.
Wait, what?
Alright.
Wait, what?
Wait. Can you
Alright,
elaborate on
so-
that, Tristan?
Yeah, you do that, then I'll tell you my story about that.
Hold on.
Ooh.
Hold on. Let
Story
me.
about that.
Hold on.
He's getting out his notes. Okay, well, you're doing that. I'll tell you my story. So I was at the aquarium with my family. Like, I was from like all my
How
cousins. There was like at least 18 of
tortoise
us. We were just plowing through this
penis.
aquarium, right? And we got like the turtle section, and I couldn't figure out why the 3 turtles were like stacking and like were moving around and weird stuff. But my mom finally explained to me later these turtles were having a 3-way
Oh.
at the aquarium. When you're
Now
stuck in a little
that-
tank, might as
now
well
that
have fun
is
with
a
it.
good thing to pay
I
for.
actually,
That is a good thing to pay for.
I actually changed my mind. I want to be an octopus. Octopuses are just so.
Octopus is literally the definition of puss.
Cool, thanks for sharing.
No, I definitely changed my answer to octopus.
It's in the name.
Bones, and I can go wherever I want to.
Yeah.
I can blend in.
And yeah, that's a
You
really
could
good
take
one.
down a boat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you got big
Suck
enough.
it to death.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was the what animal would you like to be section.
Can you please not?
Squidward.
So- Sony and Disney recently came to a disagreement with who gets to own. Calm down. Gets to own the rights to Spider-Man. And what are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you guys think it's good that
hate it.
Disney's not getting this monopoly soon? Like it's inevitable. Disney's inevitably gonna have a monopoly, but this is just like delaying it. Mickey Mouse is sitting at his
I don't know if they will. 'Cause
desk
there's
like
definitely a big. Go ahead.
I was just Mickey Mouse is sitting at his desk, infuriated, like pacing, trying to figure out how to get Sony.
Is
Stupid
like
mouse.
Sony's making good money, and
Mhm.
there's a big trend for like superheroes now. I don't know if there will be in a couple years. Like that's the big like movie thing right now, you know. But I think Sony can hold out long enough to where it's not a trend anymore. And I think that like Sony bought it fair and square. Like Marvel sold it to Sony.
Mhm.
Like that was a mistake they made. And the part that still blows my mind is they offered up all of their characters because they were literally going bankrupt. And the
Yeah.
dude of Sony was like, "No, I don't want any of them. Spider-Man's the only one people care about."
Mhm.
And it was like Black Panther, Iron Man. Like Sony could have had pretty much any character they wanted, or all of them, because they were doing great. And Sony and Marvel was going under, but Marvel made pretty good money. Stan Lee did,
Whew.
and now Disney owns everything. So
The thing, like you kind of touched on it, is with like the superhero movie. I feel like since the MCU has like the Infinity Saga has ended, I feel like this is giving other what am I trying to say? Like production companies a chance. Like this Joker movie apparently is really good, and I feel like DC has a chance to kind of make a good name because they haven't been able to compare to like the freaking Justice League versus Avengers Infinity War, like or even Civil War. That's a joke.
DC's done a lot of things, but most of them kind of flopped. Like all
Yeah.
their movies, the only one that was kind of decent was Wonder Woman, but even that was
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was
Not only
good.
just because the actress was really hot, but just because it was a good story.
Hey Harrison, she's actually Jew, just like you. So maybe you could like get her
Oh,
number or
sick,
something.
dog. Have her over for some penny sorting.
For some,
Or
for some what's it called?
Harrison, do you go by year or by shininess, luster?
A little bit of both.
Everything applies in this in the penny industry.
Dude, I wish at school they would just have an F day.
A what?
A meth day?
Meth day? I love meth
Yes, a
days.
meth day. No, an ethnic day where you just come as like the cult.
I would
Like,
come as a Jew.
your
I would
family
come as a Jew.
heritage.
I would 100% come as a Jew. I would have a sack with a bunch of pennies over my bag.
Imagine like that would create the fight between like furries and lesbians out and like during the lunch or
Oh,
something. I don't
gosh.
know, dude.
I
The Gay
hate.
Straight Alliance would have a
Yeah.
falling out.
I hate.
No, culture, not freaking.
Not sexuality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Nick, what are you saying?
Oh, dude, I don't
Do you
know.
know what race is? You know what an ethnicity is? Nick,
Dude,
what
being
ethnicity
gay
are
is
you?
an ethnicity. Being
I
gay
am. I am red.
No, that's shut the.
Nick, you're white. Shut up, dude.
Stupid.
Oh.
Wait, do I get to choose which color? Because I want to be black. Being black would be
You
sick.
You don't get to be black.
No, you don't.
Just change your skin,
That's not
dude.
even the point.
Pull a Michael Jackson. Put it in
Michael
reverse.
What if when hang on, I got a question.
Ow!
What if when we had kids, we got to choose how we wanted our kids, like
Custom
how
character.
smart they were?
The whole
And-
chat. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I dearly apologize. Keep talking, Nick.
Okay. Anywho, like when you go in, you could like pick like their eye color, their hair, how tall they're gonna be. Like
Aryan
be
race,
crazy.
baby.
That's
Round two.
Yo, have you ever heard
Remember
of
that whatever it's called in science in biology we had like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This correct seminar about like
yeah,
the whole
the
designer
designer child.
Designer
designer
babies.
babers.
is that perverse?
Dude, I
Designer
remember
babies.
in my class, Socratic seminar, there were people getting heated. They were like, no, if you make a designer baby, it's going to become immortal and a god. And I'm like, guys, we're designing
Guys,
babies.
no.
They're still humans. We're not making gods. Like, these people are arguing about, like, we're going to have, like, this clash of the titans, like, in 200 years when people have designer babies. They'll just be, like, fighting each other with their god powers. And I'm like, I'm sitting over here, I'm like, guys, they're humans. They're human children.
Guys, they're still.
You can design what they look like.
Yeah, you
I wonder
pick
if you
their
could design like how
looks.
tall they would be too, like
Yeah, like,
size.
you pick their
that-
looks. That was.
Just so
Is it just
everyone
looks, or is
knows,
it like legit? Like
So-
like you can pick their like
Here's
size and
the-
how tall they get.
I feel like that would change the beauty standards so much because everyone's kind of got like for men they want to be like at least 6 feet tall, you know, massive penis, you know, all this kind of stuff. Like,
Whoa,
but
whoa,
like
lad.
when
This is
everyone all of a sudden
PG.
like all of a sudden
3
everyone's
inches.
6 foot tall and
Take it or
everyone's got
leave it.
blonde hair and blue eyes, like all of a sudden that might not be attractive anymore. And then like short and like small will be attractive.
if you guys can't tell, Nick is an incel. Okay.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know. It's is you uncultured swine.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Scabo.
Anyway, everybody, don't say my full name, Jesus.
He's gonna get
Gonna
tracked
have
down.
that too.
They're gonna kill him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Travis.
They're gonna hunt me down.
Travis
Anyway,
Johnson.
I would like to just so everyone knows,
Travis.
a Socratic
Scott.
seminar is basically where everybody in the
Oh.
class sits around in a circle and
Thank
like
you.
talks and doesn't just get talked at by the teacher. Just because I know a lot of schools don't do that, and so everybody's like,
Yeah, that's
what
a
is
good
a
point.
Socratic
Thank you.
seminar?
Thank you for clarifying.
Damn, Miss Chin.
Because yeah, suck on that, Mrs. Chin. Ha!
My 3-inch dog. Mm.
Whoa, man.
Whoa. PG.
What does it call? It's like the drop a live bomb when killed. That's what you just did.
What?
You roasted yourself, but you roasted her. Never mind. Never mind. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I know. What?
Dang. Yeah, the designer baby thing. I don't know if.
I don't know if I would, because I feel like
Yeah.
then it's gonna be companies like marketing off it. Like
Yeah.
if you
It's
give
gonna
us
be
10 grand,
controversial.
your kids can then be 6 feet tall, and then if you want the upgraded to whatever, you know, like be extra muscular, that's gonna be an extra
Uh-huh.
$80,000.
I mean, yeah, it's not even just like just making a child that way. It's also the process of like getting the stuff in the first place. It's also pretty
Uh-huh.
controversial.
Imagine you're like watching the Super Bowl and a commercial comes on and it's like
Oh.
Flo from the Progressive commercial comes on. She's like, save when you bundle height and penis size on your design.
If you guys cannot tell, Travis is retarded.
What? Where did that come from? He made a
was
funny
a good
joke.
joke.
That was
That
a
was a
good
good
joke. Whoa, man.
We were like, ha ha ha. Yeah, that'll be funny. That Travis is
then-
retarded.
Travis is retarded. You see, Nick is.
Good one, Nick. That was very good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It
Nick.
took
Very
my big
cool.
brain a lot of time
But
to come
then-
up with that.
Coming up with like off the like the Super Bowl made me think of this. Like, if you can design children, like, will there be any need for like athletics, or like will only people who aren't genetically engineered be allowed to play athletics? But then like, what's the point of having these absolute like massive dudes watching these skinnier dudes who haven't been like genetically altered playing a sport. You know?
Yeah, I was thinking about it this way too. Like you could have like your baby with like increased reflexes and like intelligence and stuff, and that would make them way better at video games too,
Well,
or stuff like that.
I don't think you can't change intelligence. That's just the one thing you really can't.
You can change a little bit.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, I guess
like,
a little bit, but
Big
not.
brain.
Some people say like we only use like 8% of our brains or whatever.
What if we
That is
used
not
it?
true.
It's not true.
There's no
I don't
way.
know.
There's no way it's true.
I don't know how you like actually prove that.
Like your brain is
you,
doing
Nick,
so
maybe you.
much.
Yeah, no, I looked it up because I remember. So wow, false. Don't listen to that.
Good to know.
That's a weird like topic to get into. It's like I don't know. Because there's the one thing like you can change everything you want about like their appearance and stuff, but at the end of the day, you can't change like who someone is as a person.
Do you think that it can make them like superhumans though?
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, actually,
Because they're still gonna be human. They're still gonna make mistakes. They're still gonna do bad things.
Yeah, like Drew said, we're not making gods. We're just we're making like normal humans. We're just able to change what they look like.
Yeah, but I think you could increase like their muscle mass though through genetics. Like
That's
some
true.
people like
You can make someone
easily
faster.
get more muscle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could kind of create superhumans, but not in the sense of like Marvel type superheroes.
Oh yeah, definitely not like that, but definitely probably like increased muscle mass and increased, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know it's definitely a weird thing to think about. Or even how technology has changed so much, like kind of the ramp it's been doing. That like when I think it will eventually get to that. It's just when will we get to that? Like in our lifetime, our children's lifetime.
Tech is like
Definitely crazy.
Increasing technology is like an exponential graph. So eventually, it's gonna get to a point where the line is just going like super straight up, and the computer is improving upon itself, and then that's improving upon itself. It's kind of scary to think about.
Okay. I have another big topic to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Let's keep doing this one.
No, hit us with it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Artificial intelligence. What are your thoughts on
Ooh. Scary.
Wait, can you say it again?
artificial intelligence?
Honestly, I feel like in both ways it can be helpful and also like really dangerous and scary, because like if you think about it, yeah, maybe they could create minds of their own, but like they do in sci-fi movies, but like honestly, I don't think that would happen, just because we're designing it to, like Roombas. Let's just say that for an example. They just zoom around and vacuum stuff. They don't create a mind of their own and do their own stuff.
They
like
just do
unless
what they're
it's
told.
input into their code, they're not gonna have their own mind, their own what is it called? Like emotions and all that. Like they will just be artificial. Like they'll just be AI. They'll be what we want them, unless they are. I mean, like that. What is scary is they could be like probably be hacked, and then people could put codes in, but at the same time it's like the government, if someone does create it, the government will keep it secret for a long time and use it for their own benefits before it's released to the public.
They're already coming out with like a lot of technology and research they're already kind of doing on that stuff. I don't think we'll get to it in our lifetime, but I think it'll eventually get there, and it'll be super helpful for a couple of years, and then it'll just go like iRobot and then try to kill everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
because like the mindset of the robots would be these like
just run the program
better. We don't need.
Yeah, they don't need the humans to survive.
Like you can still have super secure secret facilities. Like we already have all those like all over the world, but
guys, like they won't just they won't like try to just grasp the like, I don't know, like they won't try to get like the stuff to make them turn and against us and realize that they don't need us and all that stuff.
But that's the thing.
I wasn't thinking of
that's
it that
the
way.
thing is tech will get to a point where it it doesn't need humans to improve itself, and then it's gonna realize like, hey, we don't need like sure it's probably not gonna extinguish humans, but like the tech is just gonna be doing its own thing. Like
You pretty much
maybe it's just gonna like gonna have to live in sync, you know, like live together with the tech.
Another really weird thing about if artificial intelligence doesn't wipe us out, but okay, what are your thoughts on like if a robot were to make a synthetic human that was made of robotic parts,
Whoa.
but they acted like a human, felt like a human? What are your thoughts on that?
Unnerfed, man.
I don't
You know
think
how we all had that conversation of we're all nerfed? He will be
it's
unnerfed.
like the thing is you can't create someone's like morals or someone's emotions. Like you can't I don't believe that you can artificially replicate someone's moral compass. You know? That's just like you can't I don't know what I'm getting, but like you can't artificially create someone's consciousness. So I don't think
Have you guys ever? Sorry, I thought
no,
you
go
were done.
ahead.
Have
I
you guys
was
ever seen a Person of Interest?
I
Mm-mm.
don't think I have.
No.
So basically, the premise of that show is that there's like this guy creates an artificial intelligence that
Mhm.
that basically scans and looks for terrorists, and then and like it can predict the terrorist. Like it has
Ooh.
access to basically everyone's phone, everyone like all the security cameras in the whole world, and then it finds like a terrorist and it'll tell the government before he does
Is a
his act
terrorist.
or before he even thinks about it.
That kind of reminds me of
Huh.
in The Winter Soldier when they were sending up all the three helicarriers and they were saying who could potentially be a threat they'll eliminate. That kind
Yeah.
of
Mm.
reminds it focused on like a baseball coach, little league, like that was a person they were going to target because somehow he could take down Hydra. Literally, like a dad with a kid, like hosting or like coaching a little league team. Like that's if AI and tech comes to that, that's gonna be so scary. That will literally become like terrifying to even live.
It,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would almost be
One
like
thing
secret police, but on like jacked up to 11.
because they don't have emotions. Like the robot doesn't care about your family. It doesn't know who it is as a person. It just reads through your messages and is like, oh, this person said some shady stuff. Well, they're probably a terrorist.
Like if you're like saying, "Yo, I'm a like jokingly to your friend, yo, this homework's so hard, I'm a KMS," then
Mm-hmm.
ha ha ha, they'll be like, "Oh, KMS, it means kill myself. We must go, and
Kill him.
and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna
Kill
go
him for him.
kill for it. But like stuff like that, they'll just like read through and be like, "Oh, that is a threat."
Yeah, like I don't know.
one thing I wanted to bring up that kind of relates to both topics. It was one of my all-time favorite movies. I would highly recommend you watching it. It's a little older, but it's an incredible movie. It's called The Island. And basically this movie is if it's kind of more based in the future, and if you have the money, they clone your genes and you
Ooh,
basically buy a clone of yourself, and they have these clones in a giant underground facility, and like when your lung goes out or when your heart has an issue,
you
they'll
just
take
take
a
the
body part
clones.
from one of the clones and put it in you, and it'll
Yeah.
make you last longer.
Okay, yeah, that's another freaky thing to bring up. How would you feel if like you and there was just clones of yourself, but they couldn't think or feel,
That
but they still
it's just a genetic copy of you.
yeah, it's just a genetic copy.
In the movie, they had different personalities and they kind of treated them
Yeah.
like babies, so they never really got intelligent.
Huh.
But I think technology can get there. Like we already know how to clone; it's just not ethical enough. But I almost guarantee you, someone's done it. Like somewhere in some underground streets of China that the government's funding or whatever. Someone's had to have done it.
Because we cloned that sheep, right? There was a sheep that got
Yeah,
cloned.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've cloned more stuff. We cloned like I think frogs, and there's one other one we
I
cloned.
don't know, just something about like seeing a room full of me, but like they just can't feel, think.
That's
That just
that's
freaks me
really
out.
weird.
That
Yeah.
would really turn me on.
Imagine walking down the street, you just look over, you just see like a clone, just like walking like a robot that looks exactly like you, just walking down the street.
That's the thing. Like
Just like,
it would look exactly like you. Like I keep bringing this up, but like it would never be you. You know, like my clone wouldn't be raised in 2002. My clone wouldn't have played with silly bands in elementary school. You know, like there's no way to get him to be exact. Like genetically, it's me.
Right?
He
He wouldn't be
wouldn't
like you, but
be me though.
in the movie, what they based off like this is your insurance policy, right? You're
Uh
paying
huh.
this money,
Yeah.
and when you need
When you need the
whatever, it's
heart or
there for
whatever,
you.
they just
It's
go
basically like
kill
an
the
organ bank that
clone.
you can pick
Yeah.
from, which I
That
think is really cool. But
it's a cool
ethical, I
idea.
mean,
Yeah. Like that's still is that do you consider a clone a human life? Because even if it has it's genetically the same as someone else. Its moral compass is different. Its conscious is different than the the host, like the main. It's really weird to think about because if it's a clone, is it still like do you value that as the same? Do you value that as a human?
mm,
It's just weird to think about. Like eventually, people are gonna have these questions more and more, and it's gonna be a bigger deal than what it is now. It's like, oh hey, haha, what if we had clones, haha. But eventually, it's gonna be like, hey, are we allowed to kill our clone and take its heart
Not
if we need it?
slaughter our clones for that.
I don't know why we'd have
Or
like a
like
purpose for clones besides like the insurance policy or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, why
that's
would
fair.
besides like experiment? Like, sure, you make a couple or whatever, and like you know they're kind of around, but I don't think we'll ever get to the point where everyone's got like a
Everyone
clone of
needs a
themselves or
clone.
whatever.
That's a good point.
what would be, I guess, nice, but also kind of like not. I don't know if it would be good, but like having a clone of yourself, you guys are talking about moving, like giving a heart of your clone to you.
Mm-hmm.
But what if when you die and get old, they
Oh boy.
transfer your brain and
Oh, oh
everything
boy.
you know into that body, into that like
Ugh.
shell,
Trans
and basically you were just like you just like back alive, young again, with all your
transferring
memories and
brains
all
is
that.
a thing to talk about because like
You can't transfer someone's conscious.
Well, like
But
somehow
you
they get tech and
could.
we like somehow upload our
Oh,
memories and everything in our brain
yeah.
to that body's brain, and
It's
then
like the whatever Elon's doing. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there. Is like whatever
oh, it's
Elon's
fine.
doing, like with the Neuralink stuff that he's working on. Like, what if you just put a Neuralink in and then it saves all your memories and how you feel and stuff? They just when you die, they take the Neuralink out, put it in the clone, and then boom, you're revived basically as a younger
dude, that'd be
self.
so freaky
But
if
the
like
thing is like, oh, I'm sorry.
in the future, like if they have the technology to pick up your brain so that it receives like blood and oxygen and like they connect you to like a computer and so like you can still like you're just a I don't know how to explain it.
You can live on in the computer
Like you
basically.
can live on, but like you just can't see anything, can't speak. You're just a brain that can only
Ugh,
input into a computer.
That'd be awful.
ugh.
What
But
I
like,
wouldn't want to live like
what if
that.
like back on the thing about transferring your knowledge to another body, you don't really have, I guess, like your soul, so you wouldn't be
Yeah.
like how we're living right now. We are like aware. We're just transferring our memories to another like place, but we ourselves will not be aware living. That'll be a body that looks like us, that has our memories, but that won't be us. Like we will still like
Hmm.
be dead or whatever, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it'd basically be like being born with a bunch of memories. Like that'd be freaky. Like surely that'd have to make you go little
that
nuts.
would make them go insane.
Yeah,
Like
being
knowing that
born
the
with
person that you are is like God.
who
That's
like
freaky.
but you are the person that's
Yeah,
gone.
but you are the person.
That's trippy, dude.
Like you're a synthetic other like
Yeah,
dog.
genetically you are them.
Huh. I've
Holy
got a
cow.
question to go off that. If you could go back in time and with one memory, like back when you were 8 with
Oh
just one
no.
memory, what one memory would you have?
Wait, to go back in time to like when I was
If
So
you
like when you were younger as a kid, but you could only have one memory from now.
see,
oh,
that's the
now.
thing is like
Oh well,
I'm happy with my life.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want a butterfly
I
effect.
I learned everything from when I was younger to what I know now. And yeah, it would have been nice a long time ago.
Like
have
even just
knowledge I
like
have
buy
now.
Bitcoin at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, go buy
But,
Or
like-
something
Bitcoin or
like that.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm happy
Or like
with my
don't
life. I
fool with
wouldn't-
this one girl or whatever, something like
I don't know. I mean,
simple.
I wouldn't really care about
Dude,
Bitcoin.
This
Like,
girl
yeah,
liked you in freaking 6th grade. Big fucking dummy. Why didn't you realize it?
Sounds like you're
Yeah.
a little bitter about that.
seems like it's a common thing that keeps happening, Tristan. Is something?
It-
Did you get a new form of knowledge recently?
Did you become enlightened?
No, I didn't.
He thinks about this a lot.
I've been lying.
What was the question?
Thank
Going
you.
back?
Going back in time with one memory.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
like physically, like physical stuff. I'd be like, oh, I wish I bought this. I guess Lego. This would have been like, I want this now or whatever. You could like go back and get Bitcoin or a game or something that's super rare and you could sell. But like something like not physical, something like emotional, like with you, I feel like I wouldn't want to do that just because the way, I mean, this is gonna keep changing as we all grow up. Is like from now, where I am right now, what I've reached, I've done because of what I did in the past. Like I've learned to become who I am now.
It like all your choices and stuff shape you.
Yeah,
to where
choices
you
like
are now, and you don't want to change
mistakes,
that.
all of that.
But also,
And I
there's
don't
the
want
question
to.
of what if you could change it for the better? Like, what if
I
you,
would. Like now I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
I would go back and be like, Harrison, don't do this. This will actually like mess your life up.
this will make you super upset in the long run. Just don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Like if you could go back and change like one thing and then like eventually lead to a happier self. Like I know all of us are like content where we are now, but there's probably a choice somewhere that like could make us way, way, way happier.
I mean, like recent events with me happened that, and I'm just like, I kind of wish I went back and knew this, and then would have
Mhm.
acted on it. And like even if it's not like recent, it is stuff like even stuff that happened like last year or 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, that kind of messed your life up, and you kind of like got away from it or like stopped or learned from it and moved on. But still, like the thought is still with me that like it happened, and if I could go back and change it, then I would be more happy. Like I would
Yeah.
have enjoyed it. But then
You
again,
could have
it's the same
better.
thing as like I've grown from it. I've learned.
Uh-huh.
I know what and not like what to do and what not to do, and how to handle it. It was super vague, but like
Yeah, no, I got the point.
yeah.
Dang, we got like
Dude, we just got deep.
yeah,
in
we
this
got
podcast.
super deep this podcast.
Welcome to the philosophy podcast. everybody.
We're changing
gotta
the
change it
name
from Undiscovered to podcast of
philosophy.
philosophy.
Okay, well, this just goes to show if you have a degree of big freaking deal, we could do it too. Literally anyone can do it.
I don't think it's that easy, Tristan.
Yeah, everything you've learned in research and got a PhD in. Yeah, us 16 and 17-year-olds just topped it with our stories and our deepness. Yes, I said deepness.
Deepness. Deep and wide.
I had a suction cup to my
Nice.
ears.
That, I mean, do you guys want to wrap it up on that
Fetish.
note, or is there anything else anyone wants to hit before we call it here?
I don't think so.
No, I think I'm good.
I think. I mean, yeah. I'm probably good. I think.
Cool. Well, I don't know where Nick is. He's probably crying right now. Well, thank you all
Why?
for stopping by and joining. I'm having a stroke. I've been Drew. Today I was joined with Nick, who's currently crying.
Bye.
Tristan.
There he is.
My penis is 3 inches long.
Harrison.
Chicken.
Wow.
And
Thank you for tuning in.
and today we had Travis join us.
Yeah, that's me, everybody.
Awesome. Well,
By the way, his last name is Scabio. If you ever want to
Nick,
go by his
shut your
house,
mouth.
Nick.
Come on, Nick Stern.
bye
I'm gonna
everyone.
beat your ass at school.
Bye.
and his address
Bye.